Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. The year 2024 is coming to an end, and we are eagerly looking forward to starting the new year 2025. Brand new year, new dreams, new plans, new goals, and greater expansion. Expansion of our thoughts, expansion of our skills, expansion of our talents, expansion of our understanding of this forever expanding world and the universe. We want to expand, we want to grow, we want to create new bonds and new relationships, both as individuals and as a country. Expansion is exactly what President-elect Donald Trump has in his mind. In the new year 2025, Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th President of the United States of America. And even before he officially enters the White House, Mr. Trump is letting the entire world know that expansion is what he has in his mind. If we study history, we will know that many powerful leaders of the past expanded the boundaries of the territories that they ruled or governed. But that was when expansion took place through conflicts and use of force and battles. But those days are gone. Now, expansion takes place through cooperation, through a thorough understanding of mutual benefit. Expansion now takes place through constructive dialogue. Civilization has evolved. Expansion now results in more resources being invested for the greater good. Expansion leads to growing strength that benefits both or all parties involved. Mr. Trump has clearly suggested that he has expansion in his mind as he prepares for a new term in office. Donald Trump has suggested that Canada could become the 51st state of the United States of America. Donald Trump has referred to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as Governor Trudeau. Of course, we know that Donald Trump can be humorous. He can make people laugh. He can make people smile. He can, Mr. Trump often likes to joke. He has a great sense of humor. And this quality, this sense of humor that he has, it draws a lot of attention. However, what he is saying now may not be a joke. In fact, I think it is not a joke. Behind the humor, there are some serious thoughts about including Canada into the Union as the 51st state. Now, I understand that some people probably would have an instant reaction. When the news broke, I'm sure a lot of people reacted instantly and they said, no way, not going to happen. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee that Canada will become an American state. However, nothing is impossible in this day and age. As I have said, expansion through constructive dialogue, expansion that results in mutual benefit. The United States of America is the most powerful country in the world. And Canada is a very wonderful neighbor of ours. Canada is a very big country. I mean, just look it up on a map. It is massive. It's a very big country, and it's also a very peaceful country. Both the United States and Canada have lots and lots and lots of natural resources. Lots of natural resources, okay? And if Canada becomes the 51st state of the United States, then we would become a force together, US and Canada. We would become a force that cannot be defeated in any way if Canada becomes the 51st American state. There are countries out there, my friends, and we know this. There are countries out there that are trying to challenge the United States of America. Countries that are trying to become economically stronger than the United States of America. Countries that are trying to become militarily stronger than us. And they are trying to become stronger and more powerful than the United States in every way. They are trying very hard. Right now, there are forces out there that are trying to defeat us. The name that comes to mind is China. Everyone knows about China. China is trying to become the largest economy in the world. China is trying to build a stronger military. China is trying to defeat us in terms of science and technology. But we cannot let China win. We cannot let China win. We will not allow that to happen. And then you look at other countries, for example, the countries that are included, that are involved in this whole BRICS initiative. So BRICS, B-R-I-C-S, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries are trying to come up with a new currency to defeat the US dollar in international trade. The governments of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the governments, the political leaders of these countries are trying to come up with a new currency called BRICS to try to defeat the United States dollar in international trade. So obviously, there are forces out there that are trying to defeat the United States. And President-elect Donald J. Trump understands these threats really well, which is why he said that any country that tries to create a BRICS currency or support any other currency to replace the US dollar will face 100% tariffs. Donald Trump made it very clear. He stated this very clearly, that any country that tries to create a new BRICS currency or support any other currency to replace the US dollar will face 100% tariffs. Trump also highlights the fact that he is not going to tolerate efforts by any country to take advantage of us. There must be fairness in international trade. Fairness in international trade. But sadly, there are forces out there that are trying to take advantage of us. There are forces out there that are treating United States very unfairly. But with Donald Trump in the White House, once again, it will not happen. He will not allow our country to be treated unfairly. So Americans are eagerly waiting for January 20th of 2025, when Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th President of the United States of America, and he will make sure that the United States of America is not treated unfairly. And then let's talk about North Korea, which is also an adversary. North Korea, I mentioned China, I mentioned the BRICS countries, and then there's North Korea, which is also an adversary. However, I must also add that Donald J. Trump made great progress in ensuring dialogue between the United States and North Korea. And Mr. Trump was so successful that he became the first sitting US president to step on North Korean soil. So Donald Trump walked into North Korea, the first sitting US president in history to do something like this, to walk into North Korea. Now, my friends, let's talk about our neighbor Canada. Canada, a neighbor we love, a strong ally. I always say that Canada is a very strong ally. Whenever I'm talking about US allies, I mention Canada, I mention the United Kingdom, I mention Australia, I mention New Zealand. When I'm doing my live streams on YouTube and I'm interacting with thousands of viewers who watch my live streams, whenever I talk about US allies, I always highlight Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. So Canada is our neighbor. We share a border with Canada, and we love Canada, a strong US ally. Now, Canada also has challenges that it is facing in terms of international relations. For example, for months now, the Canada-India relationship has been in the news. The relationship between the two countries, Canada and India, the relationship has gone downhill. Some might say that the relationship between India and Canada has hit rock bottom. And there's a long list of reasons why there is so much tension between Canada and India. So when you look at the overall picture, it is quite obvious that both the United States and Canada would benefit from being united. And one way to do so would be for Canada to become part of the United States of America, as Donald Trump has suggested. I know some people will react to express their support for this idea, and then there are others who will oppose with strong words. Of course, there are many emotions and many sentiments involved. No country would like to become part of a different neighboring country. I understand that. However, there could be some real practical reasons for Canada to join the American Union, as Donald Trump suggested. Economic reasons, military reasons, national security reasons. So if Canada becomes the 51st American state, then this union will be the strongest political, economic, and military force on planet Earth. The union of the 51 states will be unbelievably strong. And that's probably what Donald Trump has in mind. I'm trying to understand what Donald Trump has in mind, my friends. And what I understand is that he wants to expand through cooperation, through dialogue, and for mutual benefit. And also, Donald Trump has said that taxes would be significantly reduced in Canada if Canada becomes the 51st American state. Furthermore, just think about all the natural resources that the United States and Canada have. And if Canada joins the United States of America as the 51st state, then imagine how energy rich this union will be. And as I said, there will be mutual benefit. Now, my friends, let's talk about Greenland. Greenland has been in the news also quite a bit. I'm sure many of you have heard about Greenland and what Donald Trump has said about Greenland. Donald Trump has said, for purposes of national security and freedom throughout the world, the United States of America feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity. Wow. What a message. I am going to repeat that. This is what Trump said. He said, for purposes of national security and freedom throughout the world, the United States of America feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity. This is not the first time that Mr. Trump has talked about Greenland. During his first term in office, Mr. Trump talked about Greenland and the possibility of purchasing the territory that is owned by Denmark. And now, as Donald Trump is a few weeks away from becoming the 47th President of the United States, he once again brought up the name of Greenland And he said that the USA feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity. So once again, it's a matter of expansion. And this expansion, as President-elect Trump mentioned, would be for purposes of national security and freedom throughout the world. Now, my friends, we have great relationship with Denmark. Denmark is a strong ally, and if Denmark decides to cooperate with the United States on the issue of Greenland, I think it would be mutually beneficial. Both countries will benefit. Now, my friends, both the issue of Canada and Greenland are very interesting for anyone who likes to discuss current affairs, especially geopolitical issues. We know one thing for sure. Donald Trump is very serious. President-elect Donald Trump is very serious. While some of his statements may seem humorous, we must always understand that Donald Trump is a very serious person. And we also know that Donald Trump understands the art of the deal. And just understand, my friends, just understand the timing of all of this. Donald Trump is still officially not the 47th president yet. He will be sworn in on January 20th of 2025, and he has already made his intentions very clear. Donald Trump has talked about Canada and what would happen if Canada becomes the 51st American state. And Donald Trump has also made it very clear that he would like to ensure U.S. ownership and control of Greenland. So what's going to happen going forward? We have to wait and see, my friends. We have to wait and see. But it's a very interesting time in America right now. We are going through a transition. The end of the Biden-Harris administration is coming soon because the Biden-Harris administration, the term will soon end, and then the new Trump administration will start. There's going to be a new cabinet, a new administration, and new leaders in charge of departments and agencies in federal government. And so, my friends, what is going to happen on the issue of Canada? What is going to happen on the issue of Greenland? We have to wait and see. Let's see what else Mr. Trump has in mind. But it is very, very clear that President-elect Donald Trump is thinking about expansion that would lead to mutual benefit. So with that, my friends, thank you for continuing to listen to my podcast. I really appreciate that. If you want to reach out to me, you can go to my website, tausifanam.net. If you want to send me an email, you can do so. My email address is tausif@tausifanam.net. You can also find me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Truth Social, and on X, formerly known as Twitter. Thank you once again. I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.